Presented by Listen Headlines, latest world news from trusted sources. Updating daily at 6 a.m. New York.
Mirror World News.
March 16. 5:17 America, New York. Deadly blue-ringed octopus with enough venom to kill 20 humans bites woman swimming. The blue-ringed octopus may look tiny, but its venom packs a punch, with tetrodotoxin being strong enough to kill 20 humans by paralyzing the body and stopping the victim from being able to breathe.
RT World News.
March 16. 5:05 America, New York. U.S. estimates, upwards of 100,000 Ukrainian soldiers killed. Politico. Washington is concerned by Kiev's dwindling supply of ammunition, air defenses and experienced troops, according to the outlet.
New York Times World News.
March 16. 5 o'clock America, New York. 6 cities on 5 continents that are reimagining urban life. What we can learn from creative city initiatives, from Sydney to Paris. Beginning in 2004, a system of gondola lifts were installed in Medellin, Colombia, which significantly reduced commute times and cost for people in rural mountain towns.
New York Times World News.
March 16. 5 o'clock America, New York. Protests in Peru. How police used lethal force against demonstrators. A New York Times investigation found that the country's police and military fired lethal ammunition at unarmed civilians during protests in December and January. Washington Post World. March 16. 4:46 America, New York. Pakistani court extends pause in arresting ex-Premier Khan. A Pakistani court is extending a pause in the effort to arrest former Prime Minister Imran Khan in a graft case.
Mirror World News.
March 16. 4:09 America, New York. Zelensky tells Britain that Ukraine needs the world's attention, even more than before. President Volodymyr Zelensky addressed the Society of Editors conference in London yesterday, praising the coverage his country's invasion has received from the British press.
Mirror World News.
March 16. 4 o'clock America, New York. Inside Everest's Deadliest Day, Where 8 Died as Spencer Matthews documentary airs. The documentary follows Made-in-Chelsea star Spencer Matthews as he attempts to bring home the body of his brother Michael, who vanished after climbing Everest in 1999.
BBC News World. March 16. 3:58 America, New York. Farmers' protest party win shock Dutch vote victory. The movement was only set up in 2019 and is on course to become the biggest party in the Senate. BBC News World.
March 16. 3:57 America, New York. Cocaine production reaches record levels as new trafficking hubs emerge. After COVID lockdowns hit both demand and supply, production is at record levels, the UN says.
Washington Post World.
March 16. 3:49 America, New York. UN nuclear watchdog. 2.5 tons of uranium missing in Libya. Some 2.5 tons of natural uranium stored in a site in war-torn Libya have gone missing.
RT World News.
March 16. 3:46 America, New York. France delays EU effort to supply shells to Ukraine. Telegraph. Paris favors the well-being of its own industries to supporting Kiev, a European diplomat told the paper.
Washington Post World.
March 16. 3:46 America, New York. Lebanon's empty schools bode long-term damage from crisis. Most of Lebanon's children have not been in school for months.
New York Times World News.
March 16. 3:34 America, New York. France holds its breath over tense pension vote after large protests. In a test for President Emmanuel Macron's political goals, lawmakers will decide on his proposal to raise the retirement age for most workers by 2 years, to 64. Demonstrators turned out in Nantes on Wednesday on the 8th day of strikes and protests against the government's effort to raise the retirement age.
BBC News World.
March 16. 2:19 America, New York. Evacuated Afghan women's team included false footballers. Women footballers evacuated to the UK included some who were not the top players, it was claimed.
World News. Breaking international news and headlines. Sky News.
March 16. 1:20 America, New York. Read a history book. DUP leaders riposte to Chuck Schumer amid Brexit jostling in Washington. The DUP leader Sir Jeffrey Donaldson has said that Chuck Schumer needs to read some history books, after the U.S. Senate Majority Leader urged the DUP to go back into Stormont. DUP leader Sir Jeffrey Donaldson.
Time.
March 16. 1 o'clock America New York. Professional Soccer Players Union asks FIFA for equal pay ahead of Women's World Cup. The Global Professional Soccer Players Union says it sent a letter signed by 150 women's national team players to FIFA calling for equal World Cup prize money.